This is section 7.6, and our homework was on page 442, 19 through 41, odd. Alright, I'm assuming most of you checked your answer in the back of the book. I know somebody had a lot of questions. So let's start on the ones you had a lot of questions on. Did anybody have questions on 19 through 23? Let's start with those. Let's do one of those just to help review, okay? 23. Alright, let's go up here. Alright, so number 23, we have 4t cubed u times the difference of 2t squared u squared minus 10t u4 plus 2. Okay, so this is what kind of a polynomial is this? What's that called? It's 3, so it's a trinomial, okay? This down here is a monomial, okay? Just as a quick review, what's the degree of this monomial? 4, because I have 3 plus 1, it's a total of 4. What's the degree of this one? 4. What's the degree of this one? 5. And what's the degree of this one? 0. Alright, that was just a quick review just on your degrees, okay? Now, when you multiply, you're going to break down, and like I said last night, the more you practice, you're going to get away from this step, but the first few, we should be writing it. So we're going to take this 4t cubed u and times it by each term inside of this grouping symbol. Now, what sign is going to go here? Y minus, because I'm going by this operation here. So that's my subtract. Now I'm going to do the second one. So 4t cubed u times the second term. What goes next? Plus, because it's coming from here. And then I'm going to go 4t cubed times u times the last term. So all I've done is distributive property. Okay? I've handed it out to everything. Now I'm going to go through and do the math. So I'm going to multiply this monomial by a monomial. What am I going to get? Okay. Minus. What's the next term? Okay, last term. Okay, can I add any terms together? No, because none of them have the same variable exponent combinations, correct? Am I in the correct order based upon degrees? No, so how would I need to write that in the correct order? Negative 40, why negative? Because of the subtract in front of this forces that to be negative. Okay, so negative, and then what? Okay. Alright. Anybody have a question on that one? Again, this step right here will eventually become optional for you. Okay? Because you'll be able to go back and just be able to multiply straight through. Just be careful when you do it that you don't leave out one of the 3 terms. Okay? In some cases it may be more terms, in some cases it may be less. Okay? Alright. Yes, Lakin. Right here. This one? This one? This one? Go show me where you're talking about. I don't. Okay, this is 3 terms. This is 1 term because they're separated by these add and subtract. So this is 1 term. This is a term, so that's the second term, and that's the third term. Okay? And remember, monomials are going to make up your polynomials by using add and subtract. Okay? So I have 3 different monomials in there, so that makes that a 3-term polynomial, which we call trinomial. Okay? All right, any other questions on 19 to 23? All right, 25 through 29. Okay, which one? 25. Okay. So we have, y'all may have to help me because I'm having trouble seeing my book. A times the sum of negative 8a squared plus 2a plus 4 plus 3 times the sum of 6a squared minus 4. Okay. Alright, it's the same thing. This time, though, they just have me doing two different ones. So I'm going to do the first one. I want to break him down first. So that means A is given to everything. So this is A times negative 8a squared plus because of this, A times 2a plus, because of that, A times 4. Did everybody see how I just distributed that A out? That's all I did. Here I'm going to put a plus. Now I'm going to distribute 3 to everything. So 3 times 6a squared minus 3 times 4. Anybody have a question on where I got something? Well, I did, but what is the plus here telling me? It's making that 3a positive. So I did, but you could rewrite this if you wanted to. This could have been plus 3 times negative 4. Okay? If you're going to keep this as your sign in between, then you've got to force this to become, you've got to force that to be a plus 2. Okay? So both of these are the same thing. Alright? And I would pick your pattern and stay with it. Okay? I would stay with the same operation in here, and I would force this to be a plus. So if it was minus 3, I would force that to be plus a negative 3. Okay? Because a lot of times we'll forget to bring back subtract, okay, when it's in front with that 3. So I would rewrite it real quick as plus a negative 3 and carry that negative 3 there and keep these operations the same. Okay? I want to erase that little piece right there, but those were both the same thing. Now I'm going to go through and do the math. So I want to multiply each one. So this is negative 8a cubed plus 2a squared plus 4a plus 18a squared. Hey Jackson, what's 3 times 6? Very good. Could have just stared at it for a while, but okay. That was your question? What was 3 times 6? Okay, Jackson had an issue with that one yesterday. That's why I was refreshing his memory today. 12. Now remember, that went back to multiplying monomials by monomials. That's when we went back, like the beginning of this chapter. Okay? Remember, we keep building, okay? Alright, now I'm going to add anything that's alike. This one is all by itself, so I'm just going to keep it. Now what you can do is, if you still need to, you can rewrite this using every term and putting them together. Okay, I'm not going to. I'm going to skip that step. So I've used that term. Now I'm going to go to a squared. So here I have a 2a squared, that's positive, and I'm going to add 18a squared. So that's going to be plus 20a squared. I only have an a to the exponent 1. I only have one term of those, so I'm just going to bring him down. And I have a constant, which is minus 12. And there's my answer. Questions? Lauren, that helped you answer your question then? Okay. All right, let's look at 29. 29 said, sorry about that. Let's go back and erase that. I was right on top of each other. 29 is 4n times 2n cubed p squared minus 3n p squared plus 5n plus, I have to write real small to get everything in, 4p times 6n squared p plus, I'm sorry, it's minus. Y'all see as I'm writing, that I'm doing something wrong. Tell me. 2np squared plus 3p. Did everybody check that? Make sure it's right. Okay. Okay, well, I want to distribute, so the first thing I want to do is I want to actually write everything out. Gym above us. Basketball. No. Alright. Now, at this point, I'm going to start distribute. So this was 8 into the 4p squared minus 12 n squared p squared Anybody have a question with what I just did? Now I want to see if there's anything that I can add. Let's start with this one. I have no more than his n to the 4th p squared, so I'm just going to keep him down here. Here, I have two terms. I have this one as a negative 12, and here's a positive 24, so that gives me a positive 12. I have m squared by himself. Then I'm going to these two. Now let's check our degrees to see. Here's my degree of 6, 4, 2, 4, 2. What I may want to do is switch these two around, because sitting in standard form, your degrees need to decrease. So I'm putting the negative 8np cubed in front of the 20n squared. Because this had a degree of 4, this has a degree of 2. Questions? Okay, skipping down on 31 through 41 questions. 33. 33 was one of those that we actually had to solve the equation. Very good. I'm glad it was challenging. So we have 5 times 4z plus 6 minus 2z minus 4. And that's equal to 7v times z plus 4 minus z times 7v minus 2 minus 48. Is that correct? Why don't you stand up? Maybe that'll wake you up. Alright, I'm going to distribute. This time, I'm not going to rewrite it out. I'm going to actually do it as I go. So 5 times 4z is, what's 5 times 6? Now, I'm done with this, correct? Now, what did I tell you a minute ago? Now, remember, that's 2, or a z. I'm just making sure. That's a 2. My 2 and z's look alike. I'm sorry. Well, I'll do that little loop in there. Maybe that'll make a difference. This is what kind of 2? Negative. So I'm going to go ahead and force them to be negative, so I want to multiply. What is negative 2 times z? So, again, I'm going to write it as the subtract out front, though. Okay? What is negative 2 times negative 4? Positive 8. Did you see where I got that? Without having to write it out. Okay? Now I'm going to go here. What is 7z times z? 7z squared. And 7z times 4. Okay, what kind of z is this? Negative So what is negative z times 7z? Negative, okay. And what is negative z times negative 2? And I have this minus 48. Why did this minus 48 not get multiplied by either 7z or negative z? Because it's not within those grouping symbols. Very good. Now I need to clean up whatever math I can on both sides. So over here, is there any math I can clean up? Okay, so 20z minus 2z is, anything else I can clean up? 30 and 8, which is that a positive or negative? Positive, so plus 38. Anything over here I can clean up? So what happens between those two then? They cancel each other off, right? Now, which is, and I'm just bringing the subtract 48 down. Now what? Okay, I can subtract 18z, but where do I typically like my variable? I like it on the left, so let's subtract the 30z. Now, there's nothing wrong with subtracting the 18z and then flipping the whole equation. If you do, that's fine. What do I get here? Negative 12z plus 38 equals negative 48. Why negative 48? Because of the subtract. Okay. 12z equals, now this looks like, if I change this, that looks like plus and negative. So what is negative 48 plus negative 38? Negative 86. Now what? Divide by negative 12. And so z equals, first of all, it's going to be positive. Can 86 divide by 12 evenly? No. So at this point, I kind of want to keep it, but I want to reduce it. One number will go into both. 2 will go into both, so what do I have left? Okay. And I'm done. What? Oh, I thought you meant the answer was 41. I was starting to worry about you again, Jackson. All right, any questions on 33? All right, 41. It says a parking garage charges $30 per month plus 50 cents per daytime hour and 25 cents per hour during nights and weekends. Suppose Trent parks in the garage for 47 hours in January, and each of those are night and weekend hours. So a parking garage charges $30 a month plus 50 cents per daytime hour plus 25 cents per hour during nights and weekends. So per hour, okay, hang on 1 second. Nights and weekends. Is it helping you that you're awake? I mean, is it helping because you're standing up? Okay. $30 per month plus 50 cents per daytime hour and I'll pause this just for a second, then we'll go back in there.